everyone, and welcome back to A Year in the TikTok of Gigi Peache. I believe this will be the last part it will take for us to get through the rest of her TikToks, and at this point we are starting to approach when I started checking in with Gigi regularly and kind of watching what she was doing. It was about midway through July, I think, that I started looking at Gigi, and after a couple more, I don't think she ends up talking about fat phobia or fat acceptance as much, because most of the videos that I've seen from here on, when I started checking in once a week or something, they were mostly other videos, trending stuff, talking about sex worker, the field of sex work and stuff. So I'm not thinking that this is going to be very long. If I can finish this video with under an hour of time investment, I think I'm going to also do another video for this week. Especially since I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get through quite a few unrelated videos, so that's going to bring down the overall time of this video quite a bit. The animal that you're looking at today, I believe, will be a cat named Bubbles. She belongs to my grandmother, and I'll have another picture of her at the end of this video. One last thing about Gigi Peache before we jump into it. I'm getting so tired of commenting on this 6-month stint she spent in the hospital, so I'm going to be kind of keeping my commentary on those lower, which is probably going to bring down the time investment for this video, because I feel like I've said as much as I can really say about this whole event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the video. Now, this first video, the comment says, "People aren't supposed to be as big as they are, so the machines were made for normal-sized persons. Every other country doesn't have a problem except you." And then her caption, Gigi's caption, "Some book suggestions for doctors that mistreat their patients."
Hello there, Dr. Dipshit, and welcome to the lesson that you apparently missed in med school. In another comment, this person said that they were like a healthcare professional or a doctor or whatever. Either way, based off of this comment, we know what type of person they are, right? Yeah. I don't know how you made it through so many years of education, and I assume some work in the field, still thinking that comments like these are okay. Thinking that normal-sized people are a thing, and thinking that people just aren't supposed to be as big as they are.
Okay, but before they get any further, this is what happens when you are in the real world. There's just functional things where it's not this perfect, but honestly, oh my god, I feel to a certain extent, and I hate to be the person that goes, oh, my generation, or Gen Z or whatever, and kind of go off on a little tangent about social justice and social etiquette nowadays. But I have seen so much, and it's not just in the FAs, it's in a lot of social justice circles, where there is this one, heavy policing of language, and two, this idea, this constant argumentation of rhetoric versus reality. We see it, I see it even in the education sphere, about the equity of book fare and whether we should even have it anymore because there's some kids that can't buy books. That's an issue because the book fare contributes to the school library's funding. So I'm not going to get into the weeds on that because I could talk about that for a while, but I kind of feel like this is something similar. There is, yes, normal sized, average size. At this point, you're just kind of arguing semantics. You know what they mean. The norm, the normative weight for a person. Versus Gigi, when they were supposedly trying to use this machine, was around 400 pounds. That's not normal. This over-policing of language to the detriment of the overall fucking point is frustrating, and it's not just in the FAs. I've seen it in other social justice circles too, and it's to a certain extent you have to learn how to not just argue rhetoric. You have to learn how to talk about the situation at hand. Machines are made within a certain range for people's weight. To expect someone to get another size up or a hospital to get another size up in the machine, like what they would use basically at the zoo. And I don't say that to be cruel. I'm just as a fucking reality. There's issues with that. The MRI may not be as accurate for the rest of the people, like the average size people, and expecting hospitals to hold 2 MRI machines because a small percentage of the population, and I admit that it's growing, but I don't think that the answer is to get bigger, more expensive machines to accommodate these people, of, people that exceed the 400-pound weight limit or whatever. I don't know, this whole thing of Gigi attacking based on the term of, normal size, and saying, well, I don't see how you could be a medical professional for so long and not know this. Gigi, no offense, but you did not go to med school. You do not know the ins and outs of that profession. Just even as someone that goes in as a patient, you do not know the ins and outs of all of the minutia of the profession and what tends to take top priority. It bothers me. I'm sorry. I'm starting off with a not very coherent rant, but it's just this zeroing in on one word that's used, that word exchange for a synonym, you would be fine with it. It just reminds me of my English argument papers where you're trying to derive meaning from anything. And I can't.
Like, you've already kind of like turned the tables on your own comment here by being like, people aren't supposed to be as big as they are, implying that most people are too big for your standards, right? And so the machines were made for normal-sized persons. If the majority of people are bigger, then what is a normal-sized person? Just say you hate fat people. Just say you don't think we deserve healthcare. Speaking of normal in healthcare,
It's unrealistic, and oh my god. The majority of people are outside a normal BMI. Outside of a healthy BMI. The healthy BMI is considered the normal BMI. So yes, that's true. However, even if you're outside the normal BMI, that doesn't necessarily make you too big for the MRI machines, which is why it's not necessarily justified for the cost. To get another MRI machine that may be not as accurate for the vast majority of people in order to accommodate the few people that are too big for the average size MRI machine. Putting all of this inference on this comment, I'm not saying that the comment was kind or anything, but I just get so tired of this. I know what it is. I get so fucking tired of this holier-than-thou attitude, from the FAs especially. If you do not adhere to this, like, very monitoring your speech, this particular thought process, that therefore you are fatphobic, and I don't know, people aren't supposed to be as big as they are, which is true. People are not designed to be as heavy as at least the American public is. Their bodies, that's why there's an increase in health issues, and it lowers life expectancy. These machines were made for a healthy BMI sized person. I think that this one's wrong. Every other country doesn't have this problem except you. I think there are other countries that do have a growing obesity issue. I think it's primarily Western countries, but aren't there a few European countries that also have this issue? Just asking in general. If you're from a different country, let me know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I know the US has the biggest issue. We're all fucking fat as fuck. Even with that, it's very clear in the American diet why we have that issue. The whole argument that, being fat is normal and an average is like how the body is supposed to be. Well, then why is it not common universally? Because even people that are considered fat and overweight and obese in other countries aren't as big as they get in a lot of the US.
and human bodies in general. There's
And now that I think about it, Gigi's Australian. So this is just wrong because every other country doesn't have a problem with it except you. That's not true because the American public is far worse than Australia. So that part's wrong. Still think that the rest of the point stands though.
no such thing. I don't need 10 years of studying to know that. Literally, I did a 6-week first aid course one time, right? And I'm gonna have a little flick through here. There's nothing in here that says, if they're fat, deny them medical care. There's nothing in here.
That's so not. One, they're not saying deny medical care, but there's a very, very big difference between administering first aid and an MRI. There's a very big difference. They're not trying to deny you medical care. They're not. It's that if you don't fit into the machine, there's not much that they can do. And to expect a hospital to incur the cost of how much it would cost to get another MRI machine that could accommodate people that are like morbidly obese is fucking insane. Like, I'm a little. This is gonna sound mean, but I'm a little baffled at the stupidity of this. I genuinely am. It's like, do you genuinely not understand the difference? Because, yeah, you took a first aid course. Do you think those are comparable? I took a first aid course in college. I was able to get CPR certified as part of my college credits. In no way is it at all comparable to anything medical professionals do. Like, you're just learning basic potentially life-saving actions that you can do. CPR isn't really medical care as much as it is just because, and the reason why I say that is because doing proper CPR can, like, break ribs and stuff. So it's not medical care so much as it is first aid. It's exactly what it is. It's first aid. It's not necessarily meant to care for anyone. It's just meant to stop a potential death, really. Like, it's, even if we do call it medical care, it's just so far removed. This is baffling to me, and it hurts my brain. I can't.
It says, if they're thin and having a heart attack, here's what you do. If they're fat, leave them. They're not going to fit in the machine later anyway. You know, there's nothing like
I can't do. Oh my god. Gigi, seriously? I officially don't think I can watch them again after this. I don't think I can watch them again after this, because this is so bafflingly stupid. This is such a horrible argument. There is such a, like, massive difference. Like, do you understand that not everyone has to get in the MRI even if they've experienced, like, a life-threatening situation? Like, the doctors and the medical professionals will still care for you even if you don't fit into the MRI. You just can't get tested because the MRI machine cannot. Oh my god, it cannot accommodate your weight. I'm having such a hard time verbalizing right now because it's so bafflingly stupid. This is such a ridiculous, and it's like, you can't possibly actually believe this. You can't believe this in your heart of heart. Like, you can't. If you do, honey, this is you being very ignorant.
that in there, let me tell you that. While I've got some books out, let's have a look at what else there is. Medical gaslighting, that's not what this book is about. This is about gaslighting in general. Consider how that impacts the person. Lost connections, this is about mental health. If you really care about people's health, you would be taking their mental health into consideration and thinking about how...
Oh my god, there's a big difference. Like, if you were talking about mental health, even with your neurologist, that's not his job. Like, there's a reason why there's specialties. There's a reason why psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors are in their own field adjacent to the medical, to traditional medicine. because it is to expect even a general practitioner to be able to do anything more than maybe prescribe an antidepressant for you is unrealistic and incredibly unfair. The medical profession is such a wide scope of things that to expect anyone to know more than the very fundamental basics of everything, and to that whole gaslighting book thing, saying that doctors are gaslighting their patients or something. I just, oh my god, you have entirely too high expectations for the average doctor. Honestly, it's just insane. It's just insane. Like, the expectations of people on their, it's just unreasonable. It kind of reminds me a bit, again, I'm sorry to tie everything back to teaching, but it's what I know. But, like, there was this whole thing on the first year back from lockdown with COVID where teachers were expected, it was proposed by the district that teachers were expected to check in and monitor students' mental health. And this was in the middle school that this was a big thing. But of each of their students. And it's like they have 6 periods a day, and even for, let's say, the English teachers that also doubled as social study teachers. So the same kids that had them for English would come back for social studies. That's still 3 classes worth of people. That's 90 kids. To expect a teacher to not only plan for the lessons, teach the lesson, grade the homework, keep monitor for any children that have any signs of abuse or neglect at home, because that's part of our jobs. Connect with admin and school events, participate and connect with parents, and monitor all students' mental health was just fucking insane. The union actually went, it was a whole union issue over that. It's too much. It's too much. You have entirely too high expectations of people.
Comments like this and treating patients poorly because of the way that they look would really negatively impact this. This is a big book-ish. What else is there? The happiness trap, that's another mental health one. That's like striving to happiness and like leading a richer life or some shit. How am I supposed to do that if I can't get medical care?
Those are self-help books. Like, it's not... Your general practitioner is there to monitor your health, to help with basic things, and then branch out to specialists who have their own massive thing that they feel like that their specialized field that they are monitoring you with. Like, no one's denying you access to medical care because you can't fit in an MRI machine. And I did not mean to spend this much time on this one TikTok, but it's just, it hurts my brain, and I am, like, not okay with this whole thing. Like, this is not okay. I can't even verbalize the insanity of this.
Everything is fucked, damn fucking straight. A book about hope. Wish I had some of that when I saw a doctor. Does this seem like a hyperbole and a half? That's because it's not. Check this out, it's a fun read. Anyway, you're also forgetting about people that live with things like addiction. Food addiction is a thing, just as much as drug addiction can be.
Which is why they would prescribe you mental health care and a weight loss program eventually, because being fat is not good for your health either. It hurts. It hurts my brain. I can't.
This one's just about sex ed, and I thought it was cool. You want to know what a really unhelpful book is? These are all books that I found quite helpful and quite informative. The CSI low carb diet did nothing for me, let me tell you that. And finally, for anybody else that's concerned about being too big or not normal, it's okay to be you. Don't be concerned if you're a little different. Hello there, Doctor.
Okay, I think I've said as much as I can about this at the moment. I am having a surprisingly, like, fairly emotive reaction to this, far more than I thought I would. And I'm having a hard time verbalizing. I think I've verbalized as much as I can on my perspective of this. I am not usually one to say this is just stupid, because I think I tend to think that's over reductive, and I have pointed out how just the expectations are too high, but this is also just the whole first aid comparison was just so bafflingly stupid in terms of an art. Like, I have to move on. I can't anymore with this one. I can't. Okay. So, this TikTok, the little caption up here says, one of my followers sent me this asking me to blind react.
Show me that you live with a curvy girl. I'll go first.
Leggings and cozy pants will always be lucky to experience the endless friction in the beautiful thunder between her thighs.
The next caption says, what the fuck is the beautiful thunder, with the vomit emoji.
Bras are always hanging on the back of the door for some reason.
This one says, literally anyone with titties hangs bras on doors, hooks, anything to get him out of the way. And then she quotes his comment of so large.
And they're huge and they're so large, you could probably eat a bowl of ice cream out of them. And I bet you top drawer first thing, yep, there it is.
Next caption says, do people like this understand that this is fetishizing and, in this case, infantilizing?
It is. Thigh rescue stick. I mean, thick thighs save lives, but they'll turn on each other quick. I'd be willing to stake my life on the fact that there will be, yes, some emergency candy.
This one says, thin people have bed snacks too, my dude. Although, for this, I do have to have a quick comment. Like, I'm overweight. I don't have... What the fuck is bed snacks? I don't have bed snacks. Why the fuck would you have bed snacks? Like, I have fucking throat lozenges and stuff from when I get sick that I just leave there in the bedside drawer, but I don't have bed snacks. Why is it even referred to as bed snacks?
Just in case things get a little snacky. So we got some candy, we got some chocolate. Good job, honey. You deserve that.
Yeah, bottom line,
And last caption, I believe, says, if my partner made a video like this, I wouldn't be their partner anymore, JFC.
girls are a beautiful rare breed. Take care of her, and she'll take care of you.
So I'm not going to deny that the video Gigi duetted with was cringy. It was cringy. There might have been a bit of fetishizing in there, but at the same time, like, it's his wife. If he's just... I don't know. If his wife is okay with it, if his wife was okay with all of this, then to a certain extent, I'm very much like, it's not your fucking business. Leave them alone. Like, the fat acceptance group is always like, don't watch my videos if you're thin. And this is a non-weight loss zone. And if you, like, Fat Sapphic Bro has this rule where if you are actively losing weight and they can see that on your TikTok, they will block you. And then there's shit like this, where it's like, no, you don't get to say you can't pass any judgment on me and then proceed to pass judgment on other people. This guy is talking about his wife. While I find it cringy and a bit weird, if his wife is okay with it, then shut the fuck up and leave him alone.
If you haven't already...
So the comment says, is it hurting you? And it's referring to that last video that we just watched.
Have a click in the comment, have a look at the video that I duetted, and then come back so that you know what I'm talking about. Is it hurting me? Today we're talking about fat fetishization and the way that it does, in fact, harm fat people and specifically fat femmes, such as myself. Now,
way to make someone else's life about you. Like, oh my gosh.
If you're like a bigger or curvy or fat person and you've just watched the video and you're like, why does this make me feel so uncomfortable? Why does this feel icky and gross when the tone of the video is so like upbeat and positive, right? Like you kind of feel like, oh, this isn't offensive. This couldn't be hurting me. This is positive, right? Right? Wrong. Let's start with the infantilization of curvy/fat people that comes through in this video. The infantilization of people that you kind of view as below you is pretty common. Like, a lot of you, I'm sure, have seen those videos of, let's look in my autistic brother's room. Oh my god. Isn't this so cute? Like, that's infantilization. Like, no, your brother is a whole ass human being. Like, fuck off. But that is what comes through in this video as well. It's that same infantilization, which does very much tell me that he thinks that he is better than, like, that curvy person.
So I understood the fetishization, blah, 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 you know what I mean, comment. Like, I saw that there. I didn't get the infantilization aspect. It didn't, like, he seemed a little over glorifying just aspects of his wife and stuff. I didn't get infantilization personally. I didn't read that in the TikTok. I got fetishization. I saw that. I didn't get infantilization personally from that TikTok.
And I feel very sorry for whoever his partner is. And also, I hope it's his partner and not like a housemate. Because imagine if that was your housemate going through, like, look at these bras, you could eat ice cream out of them. Like, that's creepy. That's weird. That's gross. Anyway, now let me get on to the fetishization. The fetishization is what I have, like, the biggest problem with, because it is the most prevalent thing in this video. And it absolutely is fetishization, and you can tell by just how excited he is for, like, normal everyday things and the idea of them being associated with curvy / bigger people. So that we got, like, the...
To be fair, though, I think specifically, I mean, he was advocating for, like, the curvy girls and the bigger girls, but it was very much in relation to his wife. He's, like, very obsessed with his wife, and if it's okay, if their relationship works, if their relationship is fine, she's not bothered by it, then it very much falls under, it's none of your fucking business.
Tub rub thing, we've got big ass bras, and, like, the piling, is it pilling? The pilling on the leggings, which implies that, you know, the thighs have been rubbing together. This is purely fetishization. And, like, don't even get me started on the, what was the comment? It was like the delicious thunder or something. Like, come on. Now,
was it a little creepy? Yeah. I'm not gonna deny it is a little bit like, alright, dude. Weird, but okay. And you know what I do when I come across videos like that? I fucking scroll on by. Because it's not my fucking world, it's not my goddamn business.
nothing wrong with being sexually attracted to bigger people. Most people I know are, because they know me. But this is not the same thing. This is, it's a little bit dehumanizing, because you're seeing the bigger person as just these aspects and not everything else. Like, think of those white dudes that are obsessed with the idea of being with a Japanese girl because they think they're all kawaii and like that stereotype, and that's not the case at all. Which overall makes it quite dehumanizing, and that is it hurting me.
I'm sorry, I don't think that the TikTok that guy made about his partner or his wife or his girlfriend, if she was okay with it, then it's none of your goddamn business, and it does not hurt you. I understand that this is probably a slightly controversial take. You're welcome to disagree with me in the comments. That's fine. I'm not saying I don't see the other side at all. I just disagree with it in this particular circumstance.
First of all,
So the comment says, you guys realize how new medical imaging technology is, especially MRI. It's the shortcoming of technology that is at fault, not the medical, I'm guessing, professionals.
who does this makeup filter on me? Second of all, I'm just going to show you what the rest of this comment is. You guys don't realize how new medical imaging technology is, especially MRI. It's the shortcoming of technology that is at fault, not the medical practitioners. If we don't have the technology, we can't do anything about it. It's like saying, why don't we have flying cars? We don't have the tech. You see, the medical practitioners are still the problem for me, and that's because they could very simply and politely and kindly be like, hey, we don't have the right technologies available to us to be able to perform XYZ scan or test for you. Let's see what we can do instead. Which leaves room to actually look for the problem and actually help the patient without shaming them. I feel like it's really easy to forget that these machines are made for people and people are not made for these machines. At the end of the day, it's really about how the medical practitioners are treating fat patients, and it's not with dignity, and it's not with respect, and it's not good enough. Treat me with dignity, treat me with respect, treat me like a human being, and there's not going to be a problem. But just between you and me, if they can put a man on the moon, they can put a fat bitch in an MRI.
And that last comment kind of screams a bit of ignorance to me. But here's the thing, is that they're like, no, this hospital doesn't have the imaging, and that's why, like, there's actual news articles of fat people being suggested to go to a zoo to get an MRI done. Because the zoo has an MRI that can support someone of excessive weight. But even that aside, I think Gigi Peache's idea of what treating someone with dignity and respect is probably higher than they're even conveying here. And the reason why I think that is because they seem to have had problems with feeling dehumanized by every single medical professional that they have dealt with in the past 10 years. Because no matter what, everything that we've heard from them is about medical staff abusing them in some way. And I just find it so hard to believe that every medical professional that they have dealt with in like the past 10 years, because they've never mentioned one like really good medical professional that they had, or even a decent one. It's always been abusive assholes. So is it that they don't treat you with respect, or is it that if they don't say exactly what you want and exactly how you want them to say it, that you view it as abusive and dehumanizing? So this TikTok has the caption, they say to do this for a confidence boost when you take the filter off. And Gigi has a filter on that's like squishing her face and making it look thinner.
Okay.
And with it off and they're looking normal, says, oh my god, thank god. I'm not actually ugly and thin. Hee hee, good thing I'm fat and skinny people don't have feelings. And it's just, again, with the victimhood and the martyr complex, it's just always this, I'm victimized in some way. Okay, so the first part of this TikTok has a bunch of different quotes. How much? I love BBWs. I could never do what you do. How do you get into it? Who would even pay for you? Disgusting. Get a real job. Lose some weight. You're so confident. And then this other caption part says, my favorite color is pink. I've been living with mental health issues for as long as I can remember. I grew up experiencing abuse. I lost 75 kilos, and as a result, I lost the ability to walk and spent 5 months in hospital. I worked so hard to learn to walk again. I'm still learning how to live with a disability. All I've ever done is try my best to survive. I hope that one day I'll know what it's like to just live, to feel safe and comfortable without fear of losing everything I have again and again and again. And again with the losing 75 kilos, because of that you lost your ability to walk and spent 5 months in hospital. But this was, I believe, after the weight loss surgery. This was like complications from the weight loss surgery, wasn't it? Which is different from I don't like the way that's phrased more than anything. And I'm not denying that having to learn to live with that disability would be very hard. And to a certain extent, sometimes life just feels like you're constantly just trying to keep your head above water. And it's like, when do I get to just float for a while? Like, I get that. Not discrediting that at all. My issue with Gigi Peache is that this seems to be, like, their entire mindset. This is just how they, to a certain extent, not entirely, because these are like real issues, but to a certain extent, it feels like their mindset is even like helping keep them there. It's just compounding the issue. And yeah, you're gonna fall into that mindset sometimes. I think that's just part of being human. Living there tends to be very counterproductive. And I really don't mean to discount the disabilities or the struggles. Gigi has been going on and on with this sense of martyrdom, and I'm really struggling with sympathy for it at this point, because we've just seen it so much.
We have some real hits and misses in.
So this comment says, the vast majority can control it, even most with medical issues can control it. It's truly pathetic to cry about something that can be changed. Jim.
My comment sections at the moment, and thankfully this one is non-violent, no hits, and all misses. Congratulations on your wedding. But let me correct this giant mess. To be honest, I do think it's so cute that this person tried. By saying that you think the vast majority of fat people can control their weight, even most with medical issues, you know, with that implication that you don't think that those medical issues are actually a factor or they exist, when they absolutely are, and they absolutely do. Like, let's not forget, alright, let's not forget, disabled people exist. People with chronic illness exist. People with chronic pain exist. People with other, like, medical conditions that cause, you know, weight fluctuation and such, they exist. And medications that cause weight gain absolutely exist. And I deal with all 5 of those things personally, right? This is the funniest part. Okay, this is the funniest part. People keep telling me, like, lose weight. Just lose weight. I lost 75 kilos, and as a result of losing 75 kilos, like, I'm still big. People still.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't watch another video referring to this one event and all of their, like, I'm not saying that all of those people with those complications and those disabilities and those conditions don't have a harder time maintaining an active lifestyle and maintaining a healthier lifestyle, because it's harder, and I acknowledge that. But Gigi specifically seems to be using it as, like, I have all 5 of these, therefore I'm not responsible for anything that has to do with my health or weight, because I have these issues, and therefore everyone should be nice to me and view me as a victim to a certain extent. Just not, I didn't get that specifically from this TikTok, just in general. I can't go in to this same event with that 75 kilos, which used to be 77 kilos, but we'll just ignore that. And I've already stated my view on that a couple of times. I cannot go into this again. I cannot, like, I'm starting to wonder, is this, like, this seems to be, like, their entire point of being in FAs. Like, this has been pretty much every single FA-related TikTok that we've seen. Almost every single one. I can't listen about this again. We're moving on.
Hello, welcome back to I'm aiming to eat 3 meals today, like 3 separate individual, completely different meals today, because I'm mentally ill, and that is my primary goal. So, you saw in my last video, I had chocolate croissants baking in the oven for breakfast, and now I'm having a late lunch, and it is chicken Caesar salad, just one of the, like, cheap ones from Coles. So it's got, hang on, I'm just gonna rest it here. So it's just got, like, lettuce, Parmesan, bacon, croutons. Did I already say chicken? I don't know. And the Caesar salad dressing. I broke off all of the white bits of the lettuce because the texture of it freaks me out. Just autistic things. And honestly, I'm really keen. I love these little salads. Like, fuck anyone who's like, that's not a real salad. You drowned it in dressing. Like, let me eat my salad in peace. Let me eat my salad. I love my salad. I was about to take a bite, and then I remembered something that happened on my last TikTok account, like my old one before it got taken down. I posted a video where I included that I ate this for dinner, and multiple somebodies in the comments were so mad about it. Like, you know, the typical comments of like, what's the point in eating a salad if it's gonna have, like, the fattening Caesar salad dressing? You can't just drizzle lettuce in Caesar or ranch and call it a salad. Why are you you're putting croutons in there, that's unnecessary carbs. And just, they were mad about it. And like, let me enjoy my salad. No one said that salad had to be healthy. And also, there's nothing unhealthy about something being fattening, and there's nothing unhealthy about carbs. Like, no, we're here for food neutrality. We're not here for that food's bad, that food's good, like all food.
So, a couple of things to comment. If you want to eat your salad drowned in dressing, that's fine. I really don't care. Just don't call it healthy at that point. That's kind of, I think, the bigger issue. And some people, I think, do try to gatekeep salad for some reason because they view it as the healthy food. And by adding bacon and croutons and a shit ton of dressing, you're making it unhealthy. And so I think they get upset about that. I disagree with them on that. If you want to have a very, like, unhealthy salad, have a very unhealthy salad just because you like it. That's fine, whatever. But no, it's saying that there's nothing unhealthy about fattening. Yes, there is. If you're adding a shit ton of dressing and croutons and stuff that take away from the nutritional density of the meal because you're adding unnecessary calories that add nothing to the nutritional value, then yes, you are making it unhealthy. Just, you are. And also that, there's nothing inherently unhealthy with carbs. I agree, there's nothing inherently unhealthy with carbs. But there is an unhealthy amount of carbs that you can be eating. Now, Gigi has said that they don't give a fuck, and that's fine. But if you don't give a fuck, then stop trying to defend it.
Food is food, and it has no inherent goodness or badness. Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? This is pretty balanced, I would say. There's protein, chicken, bacon, cheese, fat in the sauce, and probably the bacon. We got the lettuce as a nice filler. We got the croutons for some nice carbs.
The issue is the amount of saturated fats in that, but I'm also a big fan of baby steps. So let's say you're a person that hasn't touched vegetables and you're one of those I don't like vegetables people, because I know plenty of people that are like that. And your first step towards healthier eating is a salad like this, where it's drowning in dressing, you've added bacon bits, a ton of bacon bits to it, and croutons and stuff, and you're just trying to work towards healthy. Like, baby steps are a thing, and I am in favor of that. I was lucky enough to have my baby steps as a kid, where my family started to move towards healthier eating when I was like 9 years old. We were big, like, hamburger helper type people up until that point, and it took time to get comfortable with healthy meals, especially as a kid. And there was a point in time when I could only eat, like, salads that had a lot of dressing on it. And now I have my dressing on the side, barely use any of it, because I don't like it. I don't like my salad dripping in dressing. It's gross. But it took me a while to get there. So I'm in favor of baby steps. Yes, the salad is unhealthy, but you're moving, by making those small changes, you can move towards a healthier way of eating. But let's be clear that salad is unhealthy.
That's sounding pretty balanced to me. And even if it wasn't balanced, it wouldn't matter. Eat whatever you want. Put whatever you want in a salad. No one says salad has to be healthy. That's just me commenting on salad from me, a fat bitch on the couch, living my best salady life. I eat these so much again now.
So many FAs say they're living their best life, and yet all of the other TikToks are like them being miserable. So, whatever, we're moving on.
There are plenty of things that I wish for, and being thin is not one of them. But being treated the same way that thin people are treated, that's definitely high up on the list. I have absolutely no problem with how my body looks as a fat body. I love my fat body. But what I don't love is how thin people treat you, is how shop assistants treat you, how so many things are just designed to, like, not fit us and to make our lives as uncomfortable and unpleasant as possible.
So here's the thing. I don't know if I agree that Gigi wants to be skinny, but I think Gigi wants to be praised for how they live their life. Similar to how you would praise someone for like a successful significant weight loss. I think they want that. I think they want the attention that people that try to lose weight and stuff get. I think that that's what they want. It's about being skinny, but it's about the praise and admiration that often comes with like weight loss and managing your weight well. I think that's what they want.
Tell me the wildest way you have ever been fat shamed.
Please ignore my voice. I have tonsillitis. This is something that happened to me quite a while ago. I'm talking like maybe 6-7 years ago, and it's something that I still think about almost daily, and it impacts my life in the fact that whenever I'm in a public place, I still am quite anxious as a result. Allow me to set the scene. I was in my local Woolworths and I was like 21 and I was really, really broke. So I was just kind of buying as much as I could for a small amount of money as I could so that I could eat that week. And I hadn't really gotten very far. I think I had a few items from the deli and then like just some of the fresh produce section stuff. And like some of those like packaged like broccoli and cauliflower florets because I love them. And I was coming out of the like bread and cereal aisle and I think I'd put in like a packet of like wraps and I'd picked up a cereal, and this woman the whole time I'm in this aisle is like staring me down like I've murdered her family, and I'm there like, ooh, what do I do? So I just start exiting the aisle and I go to turn into the other aisle and she comes straight up to me. She puts her hand on the front of my shopping trolley to stop me from going anywhere and is just looks me in the eyes, and I'm there like I'm feeling quite anxious at this point, and she looks at me and she's like, "Did you know that you're gonna die?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And she's like, "No, you are going to die. Look at the size of you." And she's like looking me up and down. She's looking at what's in my trolley, probably trying to find something to like judge me on and to pick up and be like, "This is bad." But I hadn't hit the snacks aisle yet, so there was none. But I'm standing there just in shock. My heart is racing. I'm trying not to have a panic attack. And she's there yelling at me, like she's raising her voice at me, telling me I'm going to die because of how disgustingly obese I am, that I am so big that I should be ashamed of myself. She used the word revolting a couple of times, and the exact specifics of the rest of what she ranted at me are just, they're not up here anymore. Thank you, therapy. And when I just kind of was like, okay, and I went into the next aisle, I could still feel her staring at me. And I just broke down crying. And that's why I sometimes struggle in supermarkets.
Tell me the wildest way.
Okay, so I don't know if I believe everything that happened the way Gigi said it did, like 100%, but I don't think that would be, like, I know they love to say, fat phobic people, fat shaming. If this did happen the way Gigi said it was, that woman was either one, a Karen, or two, not mentally well. Because I've had a couple of interesting interactions with people at conventions. Like, there was this one person, my mom, for a couple of years, because I went to PAX even when I was still a teenager, and my mom, I bought like video game bed sheets, but they didn't sell anything in like the full size bed. It was all twin because it was meant for kids, but I really loved them, and so my mom said that if I bought the sheets, she would make tote bags out of them for me so that I could take them to the convention, because you get a bunch of freebies at like it was at PAX. It was PAX, and so I was going to PAX, and you get a bunch of freebies. They hand out a bunch of different shit for promotional stuff, and so I liked having the tote bags with me, because it made it easy, because I could hold on to more things that way. And towards the end, I'm carrying my stuff out, and this woman corners me while I'm waiting to be picked up. And she says, "Oh, I really like your bags." And I'm like, "Oh, well, my mom makes them." And I went to hand her my mother's Etsy card because my mom had an Etsy business at the time. And she goes, "Well, I don't understand why you can't just give me one." And I'm like, "Oh, well, these are mine. My mom made them for me, but if you want something similar, you can ask her. She's willing to do specialty stuff. Here's her card." She's like, "But I don't understand. You have all of those, and I don't have one. So why can't you give me one?" And it was really uncomfortable. I don't think, though, that was an attack on me for being young, for being whatever. I think that person was just entitled. And to a certain extent, I think it's the same thing here, where Gigi had an unfortunate encounter. If this happened the way they said it did, Gigi had an unfortunate encounter with a very entitled person that wanted to rant at someone. Because I've also worked for in public spaces a lot, not full on customer service, but it was like a public library where we got our fair share of like mentally ill people, and sometimes they can get aggressive for if untreated, and because a lot of our mentally ill people were also untreated and homeless, unfortunately. And unfortunately, that also, they can sometimes be unpredictable and can get aggressive. And I had more than one person like approach me and say, I've had like, "Stop trying to steal my thoughts. I know you're monitoring me. I know you're whatever." And it was like this whole thing. And then another person claimed that I was the FBI following them because I knew that they knew too much and stuff. And so I know it's not quite completely the same, but there are people that try to judge you for a variety of things just because they want some sense of control in their life. Like, I want to be clear, it was not right. If this had happened, this was not right. And I'm sorry that it caused Gigi anxiety, but I think it was more about someone trying to have control over Gigi because of whatever issue that they're dealing with than because of fat shaming. So I hope that made sense.
I don't even know where thin people get.
This one says, "I'm so sorry that happened to you. What the fuck? The only thing revolving is her existing thinking that kind of behavior is okay."
The audacity and that sense of entitlement that makes them feel like it's okay to like approach fat people in public and try.
See, and Gigi's equating this with all thin people. Most thin people would just mind their fucking business. Most people in general would just mind their fucking business. This was a special kind of person that was either a Karen or someone that was trying to exert control in life for some reason and targeted Gigi because Gigi has this very, just from what we've seen on her TikTok and stuff, I think Gigi has a very deer in headlights kind of look about her. She has this very soft and kind of fragile energy about her that people can pick up on and see that Gigi's an easy target. And I want to be clear, I'm not blaming Gigi for that, but I don't think that it's strictly because Gigi's fat that people target them.
And like lecture us. Like, yes, offense, Susan, but I didn't ask. Anyway, here's another example of that weird public fat shaming thing that some thin people think is okay. So I was at my like local shopping center at the time, and it was meant to just be like a really chill day, maybe buy some clothes if I found something I liked, get my eyebrows done, meet up with a friend, just normal stuff. So I exit the plus size store that I was like browsing in, and I decided I didn't want to buy anything at because I didn't want to age myself 30 years in 5 minutes. And I noticed after like a few stores that there is a thin girl following me. I say girl, but she would have been the same age as me. So I go into another plus size store. She again follows, but like lingers outside. It was very odd, and I was like, what's going on here? So I kind of leave that store and I go straight for the escalator. And so she goes down the escalator, and then I see my friend, and I'm like, yes, this is weird. Like, it did not feel like a weird, like, robbery thing. Not that I have anything to steal. Like, what's she gonna do? Take my socks? Anyway. So I meet up with my friend, and I kind of tell her, like, this is weird. And she's like, Yeah, that is weird. So we go to get our eyebrows done and we go into like the little salon thingy. This girl also goes into the little salon thingy and I'm like, fantastic. This is just what I needed. So my friend and I are sitting there, we're just kind of chatting between each other and like I'm feeling really uncomfortable because this girl is just like sitting, watching, following. I don't know what the motive is. Eventually she comes up to us and completely ignores my friend and starts saying to me about how she knows how much I want to lose weight. And I was like, what? And so she starts telling me, you have to join this Facebook group. You have to join it. My Aunt Lubna, she lost so much weight. You need to join this group. Like, you have to join this group. And I was like, oh, no, that's all right. Thank you. But she wouldn't let up. It was a good, awkward 5 or so minutes of her standing there like, no, you have to join it. You have to join it. Join it. And like making comments about how much I need to lose weight. My friend is sitting there in shock, like, is this happening? And I'm like, yeah. And she would not leave until I physically held my phone up and showed her that I had requested to join this stupid weight loss group. I don't even...
So, again, I don't know if I believe this one in particular. Like the other one, I could potentially see. This one, honestly, if this person is following you around and shit, where's like I think Gigi said they were at the mall or something. Like, get mall security. I don't know if I believe this one in particular. I'm like, the other one, I'm like, this, I don't know if I believe it entirely, but I could see it happening. This one just feels completely false to me. And I don't like, again, like this person seems like weirdly fixated, not like a normal rational person. Like there are ones with fat acceptance people where they're like, you have a gorgeous face and that's fat phobic because it's like, oh, because you can't comment on the rest of, like that. I can totally see and believe that happens. I disagree with their interpretation of it, but I see it happening 100%. This is so far out of the realm of normalcy that it's kind of like, did you contact mall security? If this person was really harassing you, get loud, make a scene. Because, shame is a great motivator for most people. I have no shame, and that makes it very easy for me to exploit the shame of others. Because, like, with the story of the woman asking my friend, I just kept getting louder, and there was a group of people that started watching, and then that woman left. Shame is a great motivator. People don't like the sense that they're being watched, and being judged for their actions. So just get loud. If this did happen, I don't get that this is like the Thins. This is someone who's fucking weird as fuck and entitled as fuck that needs to be dealt with. And yeah, okay, if you did just appease them, look at this, fine, whatever. I can also understand that method of you just want to get out and so you appease them to get them to leave you alone. Like, fine, I get that. This is not the Thins. This is someone who has fucking entitlement issues, that they think that they are entitled to your time to harass you and demand that you follow this Facebook group. And I'm also wondering if it was a bit of an MLM thing. Was that group that you were supposed to follow like part of an MLM? Because I get MLM vibes from this. If this happened, I get MLM vibes. In which case, the MLM Huns are fucking a whole other breed.
When are thin people gonna learn that I didn't fucking ask?
So it's not necessarily a matter of you asking. It's a matter of you... Even Gigi themselves and multiple other FAs have said like chronic illness is a reason to not be active and not lose weight, and not like it makes it impossible to lose weight. And these people are offering a counterpoint saying that your point doesn't really stand because I've been able to lose weight and I've been able to manage my weight even though I have the same illness. I mean, honestly, it's true. I'm not denying that it's harder, but it doesn't make you incapable of having a healthy weight.
This is the funniest fucking comment I've read in a long time. Basically,
So, this person says, not scared, just don't like them. Had too many bad experiences getting food on my lunch break because someone needs 4 burgers and 8 fries.
Phobia in my comment section, nothing unusual. And someone was like, no, I'm not fat phobic because I'm not scared of fat people. And this comment happened. Not scared, just don't like them. Had too many bad experiences getting food on my lunch break because someone needs 4 burgers and 8 fries. Have a fucking cry. Imagine being like, I hate all fat people because sometimes they eat more food than me.
Oh, honey, if you want to go there, then let's fucking go there. Oh, I want to cry. Well, then fucking cry me a river for not having plus sizes in stores. Cry me a river because your friend said that they were trying to lose weight because they were feeling fat and they felt they looked fat, and you internalized that. Fucking cry me a river. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. If you think it's ridiculous that they're judging fat people and they don't like them because their lunch breaks take longer because the fat people order more food, then the same can be said for you whenever anyone fucking polices how you make a salad. Or fucking says, I don't want to be fat. Or whatever. Or any of that shit. You don't get to have it both ways.
And also, if the problem is that you're not getting food because other people are ordering food before you, get there fucking faster. Are you telling me all these comments in my comment section telling me, go to the gym, lose some weight, unhealthy, unfit? You're gonna tell me that me and the other fatties are beating you to the food? Maybe if you went to the gym, you could get a little bit faster, right?
So there's so many issues wrong with that one statement from Gigi because they're saying it's on their lunch break. Lunch breaks are staggered. Not everyone in the world has lunch break at the same time. Just real quick. And for those that are bigger, if they take the earlier lunch break because they want to eat sooner, then yes, they would get there first. Maybe they weren't closer. Maybe because they're bigger, they go to the closest restaurant, which just happens to be, or maybe they purposely got, I mean, if we're gonna go stereotypes, if we're gonna be sassy and bitchy, then let's be sassy and bitchy. Maybe the person was just so fat that they specifically chose to work at a place that was near a good restaurant, so that way they could always eat, like, or not even a good restaurant, but just like fucking McDonald's, or some really fast food bullshit, shit that this person eats at maybe once a week. So because they're so much closer and because they take the earlier lunch break, they end up there before the person that takes their lunch break 15 minutes later and has to walk a little bit of a ways, gets there, and weren't expecting that fat person to still be ordering. Just saying. I don't like Gigi Peache anymore. Like this, like there's so, I actually really stopped liking Gigi Peache with that whole medical video that we saw at the beginning of this video. It's just so dumb.
Beat us there. What's the problem? Sounds like someone needs to hit the gym. This is the...
I don't have anything more to comment on it. I'm done. Alright, everyone. That video was the last Fat Logic video from Gigi Peache. We are done. This has sadly made me not want to watch any more of Gigi Peache's TikToks. I've covered them. I'm done. I don't want to follow them anymore. We are done. And I don't really have any words left for Gigi Peache other than they seem want to be a martyr more than anything else. A martyr and a victim. And I'm not saying that they don't have legitimate reasons for feeling that, but it seems like they make it their personality and they make it the epitome of their lives and their life. And I can't. I am done. Quick note on the pet tags for this week. This is Bubbles. She is a mean kitty who picks fights with everyone and takes whacks at everyone as you walk by. Just as you're walking by, she throws out her paw and goes scratch, scratch, scratch. She's mean. She's mean, and she tries to intimidate all the other animals. My dog is terrified of her because she's mean. She's very cute though. It's hard to be mad at her because she's fucking adorable. But this is Bubbles. And I don't really have much to say for my week. Mostly because I'm doing this video very early. I'm doing this on Friday instead of Sunday because my weekend is kind of packed with some different stuff. Honestly, I don't know how. I'm thinking that the videos might become a little late as we get closer to the holidays, at least until I'm on winter break from working with the kids in schools. So just kind of bear with me with this. I was thinking about making another video, but this took an hour and a half to record. It took longer than I thought to record it. So I'm just going to kind of leave it here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.